Hey everyone, this is Viper4724, and I just wanted to bring you another match, another new deck that I've never showed off before. It's gonna come from Jace 2, Unraveler of Secrets. I haven't had him for very long. A few of my older teammates have had him, have absolutely loved him. The cards that they had for him were completely different than mine. They made him look great. But we're going to go with what I have. This is nothing like any other deck that I've seen with him. Let's get right into it. We're going to go with Sphinx's Tutelage. Whenever you draw a card, your opponent... first card in your opponent's hand costs 2 more. Activate 1, destroy 1 card in your hand, draw another card. This plays a lot into the deck. It's a lot of fun. I love watching the opponent's hand just wither away to where he can never play any card that he wants. Imprison and Moon, if they ever get a card out, no big deal. Imprison it. It creates a 0/1 creature that gives mana equal to its toughness every turn. Fevered Visions, once again, if you're going to run a stall deck, you're going to give your opponent a full hand, why not deal them 4 damage every turn? Brawl, Chief of Compliance. Okay, this is the first time we've looked at it since he's gotten updated and changed. Nerfed, technically. At the beginning of your turn, each spell in your hand gains 4 mana. When you cast a spell, you draw 1 card. Completely different than he used to be. You still draw 1 card. Every card in your hand's not getting 3 mana all the time, but he does give an extra mana to those spell cards each turn now. Not the same level that we've spent on him. He costs $30. Is he worth $30 now? That's up to you to decide. Personally, I feel that any game that is going to sell you a card can't really change the card that they sell you. I don't know. It seems kind of like a bait and switch to me. I think they did a great job bringing him down. I don't think they should have ever sold him in the first place. Still love the card, but I don't think it's okay the way that they sold him to you and then changed him. Padim, I love Padim. I've had him. He's one of the first mythics I've got of this set. As long as there's a support on the board, you draw an extra card and you fabricate 1 every turn. Great card, love it. Extra draw for the Sphinx. Obviously, Forgotten Creation. Hello. Drawing 6 cards completely makes any card in your opponent's hand worthless when you use Sphinx. Oath of Jace. This is the one card I would actually change out in this deck. I like the card, I really do. It's a great card. It's useful. But honestly, it's not even really needed in this deck. I just don't have another great card to switch it out with at this point. So I use this one. Tamio's Journal. Drawing a card every turn. Putting supports on the board. All around, it could almost be considered a mythic card in all of its uses. It's great. Makes it even better that it has Jace in the picture, because my favorite Planeswalker is Jace. Can't say enough good things about this card. Dreadwaters, it's a spell. Trap 5, drain 6 mana from your opponent, and then you gain 3 mana. It's almost like Jace 1's ability. It's fun. I don't know. I wouldn't use Dreadwaters in most cases, but getting the extra 4 mana every turn with Brawl makes it worth it. Days Undoing, you get to draw 5 new cards, give them all 3 mana, and you get to draw new cards for your opponent. Once again, a whole bunch of draw. Love the card. Don't use it as much as I could. I don't think it fits in as many decks as it could, but it's a great card. I love the card itself. A lot of fun to play with. So, let's get right into it. We're going to use the Baral Draw deck, as I just showed you. Yes, I want to use the deck from the new format of the 2.0 update. And guys, while this is loading, I just want to say, if you want to see a specific Planeswalker, you want to see a specific card, please leave it in the comments. If I have a card, I would love to build a deck around it. My biggest belief in Magic of all time is all Magic the Gathering cards can be used in certain instances. Otherwise, they would have never made them. No, I don't use every card all the time. No, I, don't take full advantage of how much I spend on a game, how much I play the game. But if someone wants to see it, I would love to give it a try. I love challenges. I love trying to make things work. And if you really want to see something work, or if it's a Planeswalker, the only Planeswalker I don't have is a Johnny. I have every other Planeswalker. I would love to use them. I would love to build a deck around their abilities. Just let me know. Leave it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to build something, see what I come up with. I think it would be a lot of fun, too. Add a whole different dimension for me to the game. And you'll probably be helping a lot of your fellow players, honestly. As you can see, I got Padim right out. He's got a couple supports on the board, so he's going to be activating every turn. I had Dreadwaters. I also had Imprison. The best part of Imprison, it only costs 3, so you don't have to charge it right off the bat. You can wait for another creature, and especially playing against any black or any Liliana, you don't want to have a needed card in the first position because, let's face it, she can get rid of it pretty quick. So, let's see what we got. We have Fever Visions. She's going to be taking 4 damage every turn, and we have a Servo on the board. Dreadwaters is great. I love Forgotten Creation. This deck is based around Sphinx. You want to get Sphinx on the board. Don't let them play any more cards. So, unless I have Sphinx in my hand, I'm going to do everything I can to get it in my hand, which partly means drawing new cards. So, we got the Days Undoing. We have the Fever Visions. Normally right now I'd be deleting cards in my hand. Since we're going to use Forgotten Creation anyways, I'm just going to go with it, get Forgotten Creation on the board, get a new hand. And then go from there. One thing I didn't go over is Jace's abilities. So let's take a look at those. I know he's been around for a while. Oh, I didn't get there quick enough. Okay, let's take a look at Jace's abilities. For 9, gain 4 mana per support you control on the board. I use this as needed. If I have a full hand, I have everything else going for me. I love to use it, get everything out in my hand. If I absolutely need a card in my hand, I use it. Otherwise, let's look at Study. Discard 1 card, then investigate 4. I think that's a pretty cool ability. I don't use it in this deck. Like I said, it's a cool ability. It works. It's great with other cards that use supports and destroying of supports, which is more black than anything, where this is only a blue deck. And then my favorite ability, create a support. When you draw a card, each of your creatures gains +4/+4. Obviously, this is a draw deck. Obviously, I plan on gaining a lot of +4s. So I hold out as long as I can to get to there. So once again, we're going to throw in Baral so we can start getting mana. We're going to use Forgotten Creation again, and we're actually going to delete everything else because we already have a Fevered Visions on the board, so we don't need that. Baral, Chief of Compliance, we don't need 2 of him. And Days Undoing, we don't really need unless we don't have Forgotten Creation. It's a great card, but like I said, there's other things to use. Forgotten Creation is so much better when you're using Sphinx than to use Days Undoing. With the Sphinx, you don't want to get a whole bunch of new cards in the opponent's hand because you want to pretty much just keep ruining their hand. But we haven't gotten Sphinx yet, so let's see here. I've got 4 supports on the board, and this is one situation where I'm going to gain a lot of mana to move stuff along. So we're going to gain 16 mana, and then we're going to do a nice little cascade here. Play Baral, play Oath of Jace, draw a couple more cards. There's the Sphinx. We're going to be losing that, and then we're going to play Forgotten Creation again and get some new cards. So, sadly, we missed out on our Sphinx, and it's not worth playing Imprison and Moon on to the zombie. The Relentless Dead just comes back into play all the time. If you don't know, I do not have this card. I love this card. But when it dies, it brings it and the last zombie destroyed back to the board. Thank God it's only 2/2 because you just leave it on the board. You don't look at it. You don't think about it. You don't let it control the game. Because if you try to control it, it will ruin you. So don't do it. Just don't do it. So what we're going to do is put the journal on the board. I'm actually going to leave Imprison and Moon in the first spot just in case they try to delete it. So we're going to throw journal on the board. During this time, Baral is going to fill Dreadwaters for us. We don't want to fill it ourselves. We're going to move up and hope to get to the 3rd ability. Keep going with as many 5 matches as possible to get extra plays, obviously. And we're going to get a new hand again. So we got 2 new hands in one play. I could be wrong there. If I am, I'm sorry, but for some reason I feel like I've already gotten a new play. And now we have Sphinx in our hand. Now we're going to try to get that out. As you can see, as long as you are leaving the Relentless Dead alone, as long as they don't get other creatures on the board, you're somewhat okay. Baral filled up our Imprison and Moon for us. We don't need more Tamiyamo's Journal. What we do need is a lot of space in our hand for drawing. Because once we get Sphinx on the board, that's all we want to do is draw. So, in one play, we got Sphinx on the board. We got to his 3rd ability, which we're not even really going to see. But we did control the entire game. Created a lot of supports. We had the Imprison and Moon in our hand if needed. I'm going to throw his 3rd ability on the board just because. Nothing really to play. We don't need another Sphinx. I don't need another Padim. I don't need another Oath of Jace, but drawing an extra 2 cards would be great right now. And since I'm going to get 2 plays out of this, I'm going to go for it, even though I'm losing Sphinx. I wish I would have looked at that before I deleted it. Get the Oath of Jace. We're going to draw 2 cards. We're also going to gain +8/+8 for every single creature. Lucky enough to draw another Sphinx just in case we're playing another round, which we aren't. Finish the match. I hope you all enjoyed it. I plan on bringing you more games soon. Like I said, in the comments, please tell me what you want to see. Let me know what cards or planeswalkers you're looking for. I'd love to throw some stuff in a deck and see what I can do. And I mastered Oath of Jace in that game. Great luck to everybody. My name is Viper4724. Thanks for watching.